What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Life's a Garden. A very happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Hope you guys have a very festive week. I know it's obviously Monday, and Thanksgiving is on Thursday, but we are going to celebrate the best way we know how, in true American fashion, by gorging ourselves to the brink of death on food. It's an absolute American tradition, and we gotta hold it strong. So, this week is all about the turkey, baby, and just wanted to wish a very happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday week. And let's get into today's episode, shall we? I survived my trip from Nashville. Barely. Blood alcohol was probably just pure alcohol. My blood was pure alcohol by the end of the trip. So I survived. I made it back, and I'm going to tell you all about it, plus a whole lot more. So stick around. It's episode 126 of Life's a Garden. Back from the Music City, the country capital of the world. You know me, I'm usually a rocker, a metalhead. But this week, I've gone country. Got my absolute fill of country music. They don't call it the country music capital for no reason at all. Fantastic time, great trip. I'm going to tell you all about it. But first, I would be remiss to not tell you, before that trip, got to see legendary comedian Bert Kreischer here in Billings, and I have to take a moment and at least acknowledge that and talk about that. What a great show that was. First big comic I've ever seen, honestly. I've been to other comedy shows. I guess Doug Stanhope. I saw Doug Stanhope not that long ago. But as far as like major blockbuster type comedians, yeah, Bert Kreischer, number one. First time I've ever seen a comedian in an arena. And I got to tell you, I was a little skeptical how I was going to be able to handle that because people are fucking obnoxious. I can't stand people. I've talked about like movie theater experiences before where it's hard for me to focus on what's happening when people are talking or on their phones or doing things like that. And I'll admit, I was pleasantly surprised. In an arena of all places. Now, concerts, that's a totally different thing. It's very hard to get distracted when the music is just blaring your ears off. And you're just like, there's lights, there's all kinds of like crazy stuff happening. It's very hard to get distracted. And it's reasonable for people to be like jumping up and down and cheering and getting wild. Comedy or movies or plays, things like that, clearly different atmosphere. People getting up, walking around, people on their phones, people chitter-chatting. You got to be engaged. You got to be able to focus on what's happening. And even for me, like, it's hard for me to watch two people not paying attention because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're totally missing half the like, you're missing the premise. You're missing the punchline. You're not going to get these jokes. For the most part, there was a little bit of that. But for the most part, people were fairly well behaved, not a lot of heckling. And Bert's a pro, so he knows how to handle hecklers. He knows how to handle situations like that. Dude crushed, absolutely hysterical. Told the machine story. If you don't know that one, you can look that one up. That's like his classic bit. That's the bit that launched him over the moon. And one of the guys that got me into podcasting because him, Tom Segura, Joe Rogan, Chris D'Elia, Theo Vaughn, they're all part of that big comedy podcast community that really catapulted me into believing that I could do this myself, and here we are 126 episodes later. So that was pretty awesome to get to see him. He talked a little bit about the podcast, things like that. That was kind of an after the show type thing. But super cool that I got to see him. Lucky that I got to see him because he had to cancel his next 2 shows due to weather. He said he flew in on a private jet. No. Bullshit. I call complete bullshit. First of all, there was a whole story on the news, or in the article, I guess, online, that his tour bus got stuck in Bismarck, somewhere outside of Bismarck, had to get rescued. So why would he have his tour bus there and not here? So, clearly he took the tour bus here. This snow can just absolutely piss off. Like, I am done with the snow already. This is our first major snowfall of the year. Already over it. And I like this cold. I don't mind the cold at all. Snow, different story. The snow is an absolute nuisance. Makes driving suck. Makes doing anything outside suck. The cold I can handle. I can handle the cold. It's walking through snow. It's shoveling snow. It's driving on ice. All that stuff sucks. The cold itself, we can manage that. There's a lot of things I do like about winter. Snow is not one of them. Bert gets stuck in I don't know how he made it here, honestly. Like, the roads, the visibility, it was all absolute shit. He must have came here early. Like, there's no other way about it. And then from here to Bismarck, got stuck. Had to get, towed out, I guess. And had to cancel his next 2 shows. So, very lucky that we got to see him with the weather and all that. And thankful that I got to see him. It was a great show. Shout out to Bert Kreischer and all that. But yes, the snow, I'm done with it. We're coming into the holiday season. I got to go out and put up Christmas lights any day now. I'd like to get it done before Thanksgiving, hopefully. Depends on how the weather shapes up. If it warms up a little bit, even just a slight bit, I'd like a little bit of that snow to melt. I got to put freaking yard ornaments in, the blow-ups. That's not going to be fun with snow. So if the snow can melt and make the ground a lot softer, I can actually get those stakes in the ground. Yeah, so I wish I would have done it a little earlier, but I also didn't want to put up my Christmas lights before Nashville. So I held off on that. Also with the snow, dude, have you seen Buffalo? I can bitch about the snow all day, but I'm thankful I don't live in Buffalo, New York. 6 feet of snow. Now, 6 inches of snow. Ladies, you know what 6 inches is. 6 inches of snow is a lot. And yes, I did say a lot. So all you fellas out there, don't sell yourself short. 6 inches is a lot. Think about it in snow terms. When you think of 6 inches of snow, you say, damn, that's a lot of snow. So ladies, I want to hear you bitching about 6 inches ever again. But 6 feet? Are you kidding me? 6 feet of snow? That's a whole person. That's higher than the average man. I think the average man is 5'8" or 5'9", buried in snow. Dude's buried in snow. Like, the average woman, what is the average woman? 5'2", 5'3"? She's dying. She can't even crawl out of it. That's a lot of goddamn snow. So, thankful to not be in Buffalo. They had to cancel it. Well, they didn't cancel the game. They moved it to Detroit. Another cold game coming up. So, this already happened, since this is coming out Monday. But, Cat Grizz game, the Brawl of the Wild, one of the oldest rivalries in college football. Montana State versus the University of Montana. It's going down this last weekend. It went down, I should say. Don't know the outcome yet, but I'll tell you right now, let's go Grizz. I have been Grizz all my life. Now, the reason this year's Brawl of the Wild is extra special is because College Game Day is going to be in Bozeman. They've already said it's the coldest college game day in history, 3 degrees, I do believe. I don't know if that's the high I am at, or I think it's 3 degrees at game time. Not sure exactly. But College Game Day, legendary, that's the college morning show. So, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Pat McAfee's going to be there. I'm going to wake up bright and early to watch that because that's just so cool that they're broadcasting right here in the great state of Montana for one of the greatest rivalry college football games of all time. Like I said, go Grizz, fuck the Cats, and it's so funny. They're the University of Montana State has been asking fans because, classy as they are, Montana State fans have this traditional chant of saying "Eat shit, Grizzlies," and the university is begging the fans to not do that since it's going to be airing on national television, which is also cool that it'll be on ESPN. But I'm sure schools have chanted much worse things, like how about or sporting events? Let's go, Brandon. Like that was not what was said. Much worse things have been chanted at sporting events, and you can't really stop them. I am a proponent of free speech, so hey, Cats fans, bring it on. Say all the things you want. I don't care if your university kicks you out. I really don't. And it doesn't matter anyway because the Grizz are going to come away victorious and hoist one of the greatest trophies in college football history. The Great Divide Trophy takes like 6 O-linemen to carry the damn thing. Don't think I've ever seen a trophy bigger than that in all of sports. So that's going down. Had to make mention of that. Cat Grizz. It's going to be a fun one. It always is. And let's see what else. What else was going on this week that I wanted to make mention of? Already kind of talked about Thanksgiving, I guess. Thanksgiving, yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going to have a good Thanksgiving this year. I think we're just doing a small thing like I always do. And, God. Presents. Christmas presents. We got Christmas coming up. I just spent way too much money. Way more money than I had initially intended in Nashville. Like, when I tell you that's an expensive place to go, I'm not fucking around. So, now I'm all stressed out about money because I got my paycheck, went on the trip, pretty much spent my whole paycheck, which was kind of okay considering it was like my non-bills paycheck. Like it wasn't, I got the next paycheck is for my rent and my car payment and all that shit. So like that's the big one. But now where do presents money come in? Like where am I going to get money for presents? So got to work a little extra hard this week or these next couple weeks, I guess. And that's fine. I have no problem doing that. I just hate stressing about money. All I've ever wanted my whole life is just to be financially free. No, I can spend whatever money I want, no concerns, things like that. Or feel comfortable spending a little extra money than what I'm used to. So, hoping that changes fairly soon. And I will tell you more about that later as things progress. But as of right now, Stressville. Nashville, Stressville. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Nashville, all right? This is what you've been waiting for. I got to tell you all about Nashville. First off, let me give you just the overall feelings about Nashville as a whole. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, we left the snow and the cold behind, thinking we were going to come down to nice southern, balmy 70-some degrees. God had a different plan for us. Now, we did, in fact, escape the snow, which was a very pleasant not surprised, but a very welcoming change of scenery. Sorry, they must be plowing outside. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? You probably didn't hear it, but I did, and it scared shit out of me. It sounded like somebody was scraping against my fucking walls or trying to break into my home. I thought you were going to catch a home invasion on camera just now. But anyway, where was I? Where was I? Oh, the cold. The cold followed us down to Nashville. The week before we left, it was 70 degrees. This week, 60 degrees. That's totally doable. While we were down there, 40s. Freezing. Like it was, and it's humid down there, so it's a different kind of cold. Like, if you know humid cold, it's different cold. The weather wasn't amazing for us, but the overall vibe, especially for me being a music lover, how do you not like Nashville? Truly. Like, I'm not a country fan, but it's not all country. Like, yes, it's mostly country. Dude, music's music, man. I love me some music, and that was fantastic. The music aspect of everything was on point. The layout, we didn't really go too much far out of downtown. Like, we pretty much stuck to downtown. We didn't really get to see more local Nashville, like the outside areas. Stuck namely to downtown area. Which was fine. Like, the layout is great. The people. Okay, let me just tell you right now. I'm assuming most people in the area that we were in, generally speaking, are tourists. Because we were in a very touristy area. Nonetheless, so nice. Like, I don't think we ran into a single rude person. And I would hope to say that that's majority just people in general. But generally speaking, just because we were in Nashville, I will give Nashville the single-handed credit of being a very polite city and very welcoming and very just kind. Like, everybody was really respectful, really nice, not just at the game, but everywhere. Downtown, everybody who served us, all the musicians, like, everybody was super, super nice. So that was awesome to experience that. As I mentioned previously, very, very expensive. So if you're ever planning a trip to Nashville, come bills loaded, because you're gonna spend a lot of them. Granted, we also did we did a lot of things that required money, but I'm talking straight up downtown. Like, drinking was not cheap. Eating was relatively reasonable. Drinking was not cheap. That was basically it, and we did a lot of that. So, but yeah, that's like kind of my overall assessment of Nashville as a whole. As I said, highly recommend. That's where I'll tell you. I highly, highly recommend you check Nashville out. It's a blast. Now, flying in. So, first thing I want to say, just getting into the trip. As we're going to the, I'm gonna start telling the day by days of the trip. Okay. Airport. I didn't realize that I haven't flown out of Billings Airport in a very long time. I think the last time I flew out of the airport was, now maybe I flew out for when I went to Dallas or San Antonio, but I feel like I went to Bozeman both times. So the last time I flew out would have been to Phoenix, and that's been easily 4 or 5 years. Somewhere in there. And I knew they were doing construction on the airport. Let me tell you, looks fantastic. The new airport, that's what you want to fly into. Our old airport was so janky and just so like old school. This new airport is fantastic. It's because I was bragging before about the Bozeman airport and how just like phenomenal that is, because that's what you want to see when you come into Montana. Like, that's the first thing you see if you're from out of state is the airport. And the Bozeman airport is a very good representation of Montana. This one, oh yeah, it's goddamn beautiful. It's very state-of-the-art. It's very up-to-date, let's say that. So we went over there, we had a couple drinks to start it off, flew out of here Billings. There was like a security alarm going off as we're in line. It's like, attention, attention, an emergency has been reported. Please vacate to your nearest exit. And everyone's just kind of standing around like doesn't give a fuck. It's like, usually a notification like that at an airport could mean something serious. And I'm looking at like security and TSA and stuff, and they're just like nonchalantly walking around. My first thought was, hey, my nearest exit is right there toward the plane. So that's where I'm heading. I'm following orders. And so we get on the plane. Now, let's talk about planes real quick. People, as I previously mentioned also, are annoying. People are inherently, like, you can get 100 people together, and there's going to be a select percentage of those people who have zero concern for the people around them. They have zero etiquette. They have zero respect for the people in their surrounding areas. Like, have some common courtesy. Have some decency, right? You get this. You see this in plain view. Like I said, movie theaters, just in certain settings, you really see the people who are absolutely disrespectful of your space. And the fact that you are crammed in a literal tuna can with 80 other strangers. There's nowhere you can go. You're 30,000 feet in the fucking air. There's nowhere to go. You can't escape these people. So you're forced in this little can with people you can't escape from. You're trapped. You're trapped 30,000 feet in the fucking air. Every one of these flights, because we flew from here to Denver, and then we flew from Denver to Nashville. So that's 4 flights total between the way here and the way back. Or the way there and the way back. Every one of them, somebody's listening to music or listening to some kind of YouTube or some kind of show without headphones. Now, I had headphones. I was listening to my podcasts, or I was talking to my buddy, and just the sheer idea that someone would be so clueless to do something like this astounds me. Absolutely astounds me. Like, how could you be so dumb? Just be so clueless to your surroundings. So anyway, that, and then you got the people who stand up immediately the second you land. The talkers, you always got the talkers. There's people who talk as loudly as they fucking possibly can, as if they can't hear them. They're literally right next to them. People who get up and start shuffling through their luggage, like, maybe it's just me, but people do some really goddamn annoying things. And it could just be me. I'm trapped here in this tight little space with all these fucking mouth breathers, and maybe it's just me being on high alert, and I got all these sensory overloads going on. I'm flying in the air. By the way, flying is an amazing form of travel. Like, it's incredible the technology that we've been able to create as human beings to be able to literally pack people into this unit, fly them halfway across the country, and you're there in 4 hours. Like, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely the greatest. Doesn't make it any less terrifying. Every single time I fly, I always find myself just clutching my seat when we take off and when we land. And let me tell you, the landing coming in, that we were coming in wobbly because it was all snowing here, and there was a tiny plane. Before we came back, we were stuck on the tarmac for like an hour because they had to do maintenance on the plane. The plane before that the gate got changed, the other plane, they had maintenance. The lady said it was because they were missing screws. That's the last thing anybody wants to hear when they get on a plane. That wasn't our plane that was missing the screws. But then we get on our plane and they're like, oh yeah, we got some maintenance we got to do. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Maintenance on the plane. They had to tell somebody they had to get off because it was too based on the fuel or something like that. The weight was off, so one person had to get off. In my head, I'm like, this is fucking straight up Final Destination. Somebody's telling me I need to get off this plane. There's maintenance going on. All the warning signs were there. All the warning signs. And I'm like, and it's snowing in Billings. I'm like, God damn, maybe I should get off this goddamn plane. I went against my instincts. As you can see, everything went fine. Made it back still. But flying still terrifies me because here's the thing. I understand you're more likely to die in a car accident than in a plane crash. But based on, I feel like if something goes wrong in a car, it's survivable. If anything goes wrong on a plane, you're fucked. Like, you might as well just kiss your ass goodbye. Because if something goes wrong on a plane, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. So we're flying, and here's the other thing I discovered, okay? Flying from Denver a couple weeks ago. I straight up told you. I will never drive through the godforsaken state of Wyoming again. And lo and behold, here I am changing, I gotta go a flight from Billings to Denver to get to Nashville. And it only confirmed everything I've already thought and said. It's an hour and 15-minute flight, or an hour and 30 minutes, or something like that. You're barely out of Montana in that time. It takes an hour and a half just to get from Montana to Wyoming. Like, I'll put up with the douchebag listening to his music. I don't give a fuck. I'm sitting here flying over the state of Wyoming, just fucking flipping the whole time. I'm just, what's up, motherfuckers? I straight up I signaled over to the stewardess. I said, "Hey, you ever seen the movie Joe Dirt?" I said, first of all, I have a podcast called Life's a Garden. You should check it out. Great podcast, named after the movie Joe Dirt. But do you remember a scene in the movie Joe Dirt where a giant frozen turd, it's basically the dumpings of the toilet, come from a plane and land down on Earth? Is that a real thing? Because I would absolutely love if you would do that over this fucking state. That's what I told her. And unfortunately, that is not a real thing. But if I could have pre-prepared, I would have absolutely loaded. Well, I guess you can't really take bombs on planes anymore. Somebody fucked that up for us. But no, I would drop fucking rocks off the plane. I don't give a fuck. Just drop everything. I'll stick my dick out the fucking plane window and just piss all over it. I'll piss all over the state of Wyoming. I'm flying every time now, baby. It was so quick and convenient. It couldn't have come at a better time. Here I am already just pissed off about that drive. And here I get a flight. I get a flight to Denver just to remind myself what a piece of cake that is versus driving every time. Even the flight back in the snow. It stresses me out, dude. It stresses me out. Just like driving in the snow. Flying in the snow ain't no fun. We made it just fine. And I didn't have to deal with it because I'm not flying the plane. Thank God. Now, another thing I want to say real quick before I just get off the whole case of airports and airplanes. On the way back, we're sitting in the airport terminal. Like I said, we got delayed a couple times. So we're just sitting there like, I'm on my phone, just playing games, whatever. And this guy behind me, I'm eavesdropping on his conversation. And he's having this discussion with his wife about how 9/11's a conspiracy. And there's something just funny to me about a guy nonchalantly having a conversation in an airport terminal about how 9/11's an inside job. Literally, the dude's sitting here going, no, 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 no. It was a controlled demolition. Did you not see how the buildings fell? It's like a controlled demolition. No, Margaret, Margaret, jet fuel cannot melt steel. Don't you fucking understand? You show me one shred of evidence. You show me one shred of evidence of a plane landing in the Pentagon. I have never seen a single video evidence. So anyway, we're still having Thanksgiving dinner at Carol's. It didn't quite go that way, but I like to imagine that it was. No, dude was literally just having a nonchalant conversation about 9/11 in the fucking airport. And something is just absolutely hilarious to me about that. Now, let me actually finally get to this trip, okay? I've only talked about how I got there and all that stuff. First night, we get there, okay? It's late. It's about 9 o'clock their time, 8 o'clock our time, or 9 o'clock Central, okay? It's 9 o'clock Central. You do the math. You figure it out. I don't know where you're listening from. So it's late. We already didn't plan on going out anywhere. We just were like, fuck it. We'll just hang out in the hotel. Me being the absolute fucking genius that I am, brought my Roku. Now, I originally thought maybe I'll bring my laptop or just watch on the phone. No. I brought my Roku, which was this tiny thing, super convenient to pack, not like a laptop. Plugged it right into the TV, hooked it up to the Wi-Fi, and lo and behold, we got UFC fights, baby. Bought the UFC fights, ordered some pizza, literally convenience store right next to the hotel, ran over, grabbed some beers, and we're just chilling watching the UFC fights. Literally got there right when the main card started. The timing couldn't have been better. So got to watch the entire main card. Man, what fights. Those were some good fights. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler did not disappoint. It was everything we had hoped and dreamed it was going to be. Total banger. Fight of the night. Zhang Weili got it done over Karloff. Was not surprised by that in the least. Was, however, I'm trying to think if I am surprised by Izzy losing. It's not that surprising, mainly because we've seen this already a ton this year, where fighters have lost their belt, and in the 5th round, no less. Like, we just saw it with Kamaru Usman. And not to mention, Alex Pereira, fucking animal. Like, the dude is good. And he's beat Izzy twice already. Like, this is Izzy's boogeyman. They're obviously going to run it back. Looking forward to that. It'll be interesting to see how Izzy, like, now that I feel like the monkey's off his back that he's had to fight this guy again in UFC. But who knows? Maybe that fucks with his head even more. Because UFC, like, MMA was supposed to be his benefit to this fight. Because he has more MMA training versus just kickboxing. Like, he knows a little bit more, and he's had more experience, and he's fought 5 rounds. He's defended his belt so many times, and no disrespect at all to Israel Adesanya, one of the greatest UFC middleweights of all time. But give it up to Alex Pereira for fucking pulling it off in the 5th round, man. Dude's an animal, and it'll be fun to watch it again. I've watched all those fights twice. I watched it again when I got back. But, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We watched the UFC fights. Went to bed. We knew we had the game early the next day. So we go to bed, get up. The hotel. Now, the hotel we stayed at, kind of in a, like, not, I don't even want to say sketchy part of town. Like, it really wasn't. Like, there was nothing sketchy about it. The rooms were nice. It wasn't like a Marriott. It was just a local hotel. It's called the Knights Inn. But it's like 10 blocks from the stadium. And it was only like $100 a night. Like, super cheap. Super convenient location-wise. Ubers downtown were only like $10. We walked downtown several times, too. So, got up, got ready for the game. We walked downtown first to get some breakfast. We had breakfast at the Sun Diner, is what it's called. It was an Elvis-themed diner. The way it was set up was really cool, too, because it's like an open kitchen, like classic diner style. And then there's like 3 U-shaped bars. So you just sit down at the bar. There's servers on each bar. They have all their serving station stuff right there. Had a fantastic country fried steak. Dude, it was so good. Filled ourselves up with breakfast, walked over to the game. First thing, we're walking up. Now here, every road game I've ever been to, I've been welcomed with open arms by Broncos fans. Because all Broncos fans, you get Broncos fans tailgating and stuff, and you gotta be in numbers. You gotta find your allies when you're in enemy territory. And never has it happened in Denver that I've been like offered a drink or offered to come hang out at a tailgate. Right away, we're walking up to the stadium. I just hear, "What's up, bro?" Like, hell yeah, go Broncos. And I'm just, yeah, man. And he goes, "You want a beer?" And I go, "Fuck yeah, I do." And then Robert, buddy I'm with, he's a Titans fan. And he goes, "Fuck that guy. He don't get no beer." And he's like, "I'm just playing, man." He hands us both a beer. We crack him up. We're drinking, talking to the guy. We're just having a little conversation, whatever. We go on our way. They had like a fan tailgate area. Just kind of outside the stadium. It was still part of the stadium, but it was just outside. Big stage. They got live music. Cheerleaders are out there dancing. They got a big bar area. Probably spent a lot of my money at the game because they're like $12 beers. But coldest game I've ever been to. I think it was like 30 degrees at game time with the wind chill. I've been to 8 games in Denver, Colorado, and this was the coldest one I've ever been to. This is the coldest game I've ever been to. I had to get my hands were so fucking cold. I was like, I don't know if I was like, I gotta get some gloves or something. And of course, there's nothing but Titans stuff around. And I'm damned if I'm gonna be a cuck and buy some Titans gloves just to I'll lose function of these digits before I cuck out on some other team's fucking merch. There's no chance. But they were cool enough to sell just straight black gloves. So that's how cold my hands were. I bought gloves at the game. And not really gonna talk too much about the game. We suck again. Story of our lives. Again, we held our opponents to less than 20 points, but we couldn't manage to score 20 points. So, what are you gonna do? It's all offense. Not even gonna get into it. Not even gonna dive into how shitty my football team is, okay? We lost the game. It's all good. I'm glad Robert got to see his team win in Nashville. Another thing is, up until now, I was 3-0 on the road. So this broke my undefeated streak at road games. And it was a close fucking game. We still could have won. God, that was honestly more than anything what pissed me off was that I lost my undefeated streak on the road. So the game gets over. Nothing really crazy happened at the game. Not to my. Oh, Jelly Roll. Got to see Jelly Roll. He was at the halftime show, so that was kind of cool. He only played one song, which I guess is about all you can do at a halftime show. But that was cool. And then, yeah, nothing really overly to report on the actual game. So we head back downtown after the game. We're just in this sea of zombie-like people, walking through. And downtown just got slammed after the game. This was this was a noon game. So by the time we get downtown, it's about 3 or 4-ish around in that area. And it's just Slamsville. So we kind of just start bar hopping a little bit. Trying to remember if we had to have eaten, but I don't remember what or where we ate on that first night. Did we? I don't remember. Probably. But anyway, so we're bouncing around all these different bars, we go to the world famous Tootsie's. Music everywhere. Like every single bar has live music. And not only does every bar have live music, they got 3 floors of live music. Because every bar is like 3 or 4 floors, including a rooftop bar. Like every bar seems to have a rooftop bar with live music on every single floor, which was awesome. Why am I know we ate. And I wish I could remember where it was. Do we have a burger somewhere? Ah, fuck. I'll have to think about it after the show. I really can't remember. We did eat. I do remember eating. Because we were walking around and we went to this food court. And I was like, no. Let's get some local food. I want to get something local. By the way, the pizza we got was local too. We didn't eat no Pizza Hut. So we're bouncing around bars. And my buddy, he goes, they got any strip clubs around here? And I'm like, whew, now you're talking my language, pal. Yeah, let's look them up. So, oh yeah, never mind. I was trying to check to see if I'm trying to get all the points. I got to get all the points. Yeah, so strip club. I'm looking all over the maps for them. So there's 2 right downtown, both of them male strip clubs. And I'm like, that you might be interested in that, Val, but not me. So God, I keep hearing noises. Freaking me out up in here. There's my heater turning on this time. So walking distance. I mean, this one's like maybe 10, 15 blocks, something like that. So we walk to the strip club. It's a BYOB place, so we grab some beers. We go in. Now, this is his first time at a strip club. This dude's never been to a strip club before. I've been to a couple, I've been to one a couple times. And let me tell you, this was a legit strip club. The one I've been to, I don't know if y'all have been to Planet Lockwood. Whatever trailer park shit that is, this looks like something that you go to in GTA. There's literally like a hallway of just private rooms. You go into the main stage. The stage is right there in the middle. The lights, the decor, big old couches. You got these like podium, like it's like partitions with just like for just like little lap dances. And we're sitting there, and my buddy has this stack of money, and he was already pretty buzzed up. He was pretty tuned up, and I told him, I was like, dude, this is your first time here. I need you to hand me that stack of money so I can hold on to it, because I already, I know where your head's gonna be. I know how this is gonna go. You're gonna get hog wild, and you're just gonna start throwing money away, and you're gonna be broke by the end of the night. This is night 1, my guy. We gotta hold on to, I will give you cash, and I'll make sure you're paying these girls what it's worth. But if you get too crazy, you're gonna just spend it all, and they're going to try to take all of it. Trust me, I've been here. I've done this game before. So he hands me his money. I go grab us a stack of ones each. We're watching them dance, full nude, by the way, not just topless, full nude. We're just chilling, drinking our beers, throwing out some ones, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get this fella a lap dance. So I walk over to the hottest one there. Lap dance was like $30, so for 2 songs. So I get her that, or get him that. He gets his lap dance, and that pretty much just opened the doors. Like, now they're over here asking us all, like, over and over if we want lap dances. I'm just like, listen, ladies, we're chilling for tonight. Like, yes, we will be getting lap dances throughout the night, and I will be sure to let you know when I am ready for one. But we're going to be here for a while. Like, I'm just trying to hold them off, because otherwise, like I said, it's just, and I get it. I get that that's what they're there for, like, that's their job. So I'm just trying to keep the vultures at bay. And man, I get it, man. I remember my first lap dance, and it's just like, it's intoxicating. It really is. Like, the smell, that's kind of gross. But there is like the perfume, her breathing on you, just obviously the visual aspect of it, but like all of it is very intoxicating, and it makes you want more and more and more. Now, here's the other thing. This place had a deal for $100, and it was only like a special offer until like 9 o'clock or whatever. $100 gets you in one of those private rooms, full nude, because the lap dances were not full. They were still clothed, like in their bikini or underwear or whatever they were. The back room, full nude. You can touch them, and they feed you alcohol. I'm like, well, this just sounds like an absolute trap. Sounds pretty like awesome, but an absolute trap. I got this one girl comes up to me. She, like, they did like a thing called dollar dance, where it's just like you get a quick lap dance for $1. So I'm like, here's $5. Like, I'm not gonna just pay you $1 to give me a lap dance. Like, here's $5, She gives me a quick lap dance, super cute, and then she's really trying to like seduce me into going back to one of those back rooms. And at this point, I've had enough alcohol that I'm like starting to get tempted, and that's when I know it's time to go. So I tell her, I'm like, well, you know what? I just got to go break some cash, and I swear to God, I will go do that with you. I swear to God, I will come find you. You're the one I want to go do that with. So let me just go break some cash real quick, and I'll be back. I lean over to Robert and I say, time to get the fuck out of here, because now I'm getting tempted and I'm about to go broke in this sumbitch. So we leave, and that made me think, okay, let me just say this. I swear to God that I'm going to do something. I don't do it. So but the thing that I swore that I was going to do that I didn't do was a very debaucherous type thing. So how conflicted was God that I swore on his name, didn't act upon it, but the thing that I avoided acting upon was some like debaucherous shit. So just a funny thought that's got to be very conflicting to God. We go back downtown, go to this place called Printer's Alley. Printer's Alley is like a dive bar section of downtown. Super cool, like lot cheaper drinks. Not cheap drinks, but a lot cheaper than Broadway. So we on Printer's Alley, we decided to go to this karaoke bar. Of course, like, you know me. Karaoke bar's there. I'm going to be in it. Like, I'm going to be there singing. Sang a couple songs. It was like you had to pay $5 to sing. Everything costs money down there, dude. Everything costs money. So I'm paying $5 each time to sing, which was fine. It made it easier to get on the list and whatnot. And I can't... Whatever, I don't really remember exactly what I sang, but I know that I was like, you know what? I'm hearing all these people sing and stuff, and we're hanging out with just random groups of people. Like I said, everyone was so nice. They're just inviting us over to their tables because I'm wearing my Bronco stuff, he's wearing his Titan stuff. Automatic conversation piece. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna blow the roof off this place. I'm gonna bring out my heavy hitter. I go up there. I sing. What's it called? Journey. Just a small town girl. What's the name of the song? Don't Stop Believing. I sing Don't Stop Believing. Halfway through the song, completely blow my voice out. Like, so rather than blow the roof off the place, I fucking blew my voice out. Blew my balls off at the strip club, tried to blow the roof off the place, instead blew my voice out. So, complete left turn from what I was intending to do. Felt like an idiot for that. Both our phones died, so I was like, dude, we got to get out of here before we get blackout drunk or before we get lost, because we have no way to Uber home. So we had to walk all the way back to the hotel. Next day, my feet and ankles are killing me, because just as much walking as we did, the cold weather, like, the cold really dries my skin out, so I was getting cracks on my heels. That sucked. But, pretty much our whole plan for that day was just to go downtown and get fucked up. So, day 2, we go downtown. First thing we do, get some Nashville hot chicken. So we went to Prince's. We got the Nashville hot chicken. That was something I had on my bucket list for our trip. So we got that done. It was all right. You know, I'm not a spicy food guy. The chicken was good. Like, that's all I'll say about that. It didn't blow my balls off. Then we go to Kid Rock's bar. Okay, Kid Rock's got a bar down there. Best bar that we went to, at least. We didn't go to every bar, so I can't say that. But it was our favorite one. We just go and sit down. We're sitting at the bar. We got a spot right there at the bar, right before it got super busy. We're ordering drinks. Now, here's the thing. When I say it's expensive drinking, $9 for a bottle of Coors Light. You know that's what I'm drinking, Coors Light. 16-ounce bottle of Coors Light is $9. That's almost stadium prices. And I'm like, Kid Rock, more like Kid Ripoff. Jesus. But here's the thing. I thought it was just the Kid Rock bar. It's every bar on Broadway. So everybody's ripping you off down there. Think about it. Like, what's the wholesale price of a bottle of beer? Like 20 cents? And you're charging $9? That's insane. Kid Cock working down the block. I am American Dumbass. That's a callback from a long time ago, if you remember that episode. But anyway, so the decor, everything, the stage setup, it's like a heightened stage, and then there's a higher platform for like the drums and other spots. Like, the whole setup was super, super cool. And then this band starts playing called Jackson and the Caps. Now, I want to shout out Jackson and the Caps. Best band we saw the entire time. Every band down there is a cover band. And honestly, I don't think we saw a bad band. But this was the first band that really did everything. They didn't just do country. They did some country, but they did rock. They did some Snoop Dogg. Like, they did all kinds of stuff. So versatile. They had a fiddle player. They had a female vocalist who I can't believe isn't famous. Like, she has an amazing voice. The guitar player, dude, was shredding. He played Van Halen. He played Metallica. Like, he was shredding, and he sang, and he rapped the Snoop Dogg song. Like, that dude was the shit in that band. But every single one of them, super, super talented. You could tip them $20 for a request. We did that. So we're sitting in there. We're in there for like 4 hours, because that's how long the band played. We watched the band from start to finish. And it was the best time. It was like that's why I had I'll tip them $20. That's like the price of a concert, you know? And it was so well worth it. Like, that was one of the highlights of the trip. And our tab at the end, we had an appetizer, and Buddy bought a shirt. $230. Mostly alcohol. Yeah. Yeah, it was It was not cheap. So anyway, we did the Kid Rock bar, and then we kind of just bounced around a little more. We went back to Printer's Alley. I think we were planning on going back to that karaoke bar. I was like, let's check out a couple other places, Let's kind of look around. I don't want to go to the same places every night. So we went to this blues bar. We're chilling in the blues bar. I'm just sitting up we're kind of up by the bar, and at this point, dude, I'm certain Robert is going to fall over or fall down a flight of stairs. Like, he's fucked up. That Kid Rock bar did him in, because he was drinking vodka lemonades and shit. So he was really tuned up. We're sitting there. I'm fine. Like, I'm sitting there fine. I'm having this nice conversation with this old couple from Canada, just talking about what we're doing, how our night's been, just little things like that. This band on stage is like super cool. And all of a sudden, Robert stands up and just like waltzes out the door. He like goes outside, and I'm like, maybe I had to take a phone call or something. And they're like, I'm like, my friend's a little intoxicated. And they're like, yeah, we could tell. I'm sitting there having like talking to these people more. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call. Hey, it's Robert. It is Robert. And he's like, hey, yeah, we gotta go. I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, I just threw up everywhere. I was like, oh, fuck. And it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at this point. So I wanted to stay out a little later, but at the same time, I kind of used him as an excuse to go home early or go back to the hotel early, because I knew if I stayed out too late, I was going to get blackout drunk. And if I stayed out, or I was either going to get blackout drunk and I was going to lose all my money. That's basically what was going to happen. So we went back to the hotel. Robert fucking orders Taco Bell because he just puked up all his dinner. And anyway, so next morning, day 3, we went and did Topgolf. That was cool. Started off the day at Topgolf. Dude, I drank a bucket of beer. That's how we were there for 3 hours. I drank a whole bucket of beer by myself. We had some appetizers there too. And so by the time we were done, by the way, I fucking sucked at Topgolf. Like, my arm was so sore the next day, my side, and Robert kicked my ass every time, and that pissed me off. Like, I get so overly competitive, and I hate losing shit. But I lost my ass at fucking Topgolf, so by the end of it, man, I got a good buzz going. And it's like 1 or 2 o'clock, something like that. And so I'm like, you know what? I guess I'm fucking getting drunk today. Like, Robert got drunk last night. It's my turn to get drunk. So, because I had good buzz going every time, but I had not been, like, fucked up yet. We get downtown again, and I've already got a good buzz going. We decide, you know what? Let's go to the Nashville Predators game, okay? So we bought tickets earlier that morning to go to the hockey game, Nashville Predators versus the Minnesota Wild. I'm an Avs fan. I hate both those teams. But whatever. Hockey's fun. I'll go watch a game. They were cheap. We had pretty good seats for like $70. It was nothing. So we go downtown. We get over to we had some food somewhere else, I think, and ended up going to the game. We're chilling. We're hanging out, watching the game. It was an okay game. I think it ended 2-1. Like, so not high scoring or nothing. Chilling, talking to all, I had some Wild fans in front of me. I had some Predators fans next to me. Have a great conversation with these guys. I'm an Avs fan, and I'm talking to these guys. Everybody's nice. Everybody's super nice. It's like 5 minutes left in the game. And I get up to go to the bathroom, and I lean over to the Nashville fan, and I go, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go get myself kicked out of here, all right? Joking. Totally just joking about it. And they're like, oh, yeah, you totally should. That'd be hilarious. So I go to the bathroom. I come out, and I'm just like, what could get me kicked out of here that doesn't require me, like, fighting somebody or doing something super, like, mean or like being a total piece of shit. So I just start walking down the concourse just going, let's go Avalanche! And I'm like, I was like, Predators suck, let's go Avalanche! And nothing was really happening. Finally, this one guy goes, shut the fuck up, you suck! And I go, fuck you, fuck the Wild, fuck the Predators, fuck everybody in this building! Finally, and then this staff member comes up and is like, sir, I'm going to need you to quiet down, to calm down. You're being a little loud. And I go, yeah, or what? And she goes, well, or I'll have to ask you to leave. And I'm like, well, I said I was going to get kicked out, didn't I? In my head. And I look at her and I go, all right, I'll be quiet. As soon as you stop sucking. And she goes, I think you've had enough to drink. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And I go, thank you. I was like, will you please escort me out of here? And we just walked out. And so I had planned on getting kicked out. I did it as least vulgar as I guess I was pretty vulgar, but not as shitty as I could have done it. So, made for a good story. I can always say I got kicked out of the Predators game. Just a total menace. I'm like, just total. I had to get out of there before I went full Nashvillain on those guys. But, and the funny thing is, so Robert really wasn't drinking that much. And when I told him I got kicked out of the game, I could tell he was like kind of irritated. We went back to the Kid Rock Bar because we're like, you know what? Let's close our night the same place that we had the best night here. Let's go to the Kid Rock Bar. So we go over there. We're having a drink, and I could just tell Robert is just not having any of it. I think he got kind of irritated with me because I was so drunk and obnoxious. I got myself kicked out of the game, kind of like I did. I did technically get kicked out of that game, and then just everyone else around, and the fact that he wasn't that drunk. If he obviously had been drinking, he'd be having a better time. So I was finally like, you know what, let's just get the hell out of here. Like, I'm fine to go home. I've had enough fun today and this whole weekend, so let's get the hell out of here. Took the Uber back home, or back to the hotel, and that was all she wrote, baby. So that was my entire trip to Nashville. Overall, I give it an A+. Absolute blast. Would 100% go back again. And I highly recommend. Check out the Kid Rock Bar if you go. Tootsie's was pretty cool. Printer's Alley, for sure. Yeah. That's the whole trip in a nutshell right there. I'm trying to think if I left anything out, but I don't think I did. I think that's pretty much everything. So that's that, baby. That's the whole trip. And it was pretty wild. It was pretty fun. You know what? Here's what I'll say. I'm going to say this too. This is how we'll close the show, okay? First of all, let me just say this, because it is Thanksgiving week. Let me talk about what I'm very thankful for, okay? And think about what you're thankful for. This is a very important thing with Thanksgiving. Like, I think it's kind of a tradition that gets lost, is the thankfulness of it. So I'm very thankful for my family, first and foremost. I'm very thankful for my friends, all the people that I love in my life. I'm very thankful for all of them. I'm very thankful to all of you for listening and for supporting this podcast. I'm thankful to my bandmates. I'm thankful to everybody who supports my band. I am, most importantly, I've had a lot of self-reflection this last couple weeks. You know, I was going through some stuff there. I was going through some personal turmoil. It seemed like it's how I felt. And most importantly, I am thankful for myself. And I think that's very important that we acknowledge that we are thankful for ourselves. I'm thankful that I myself have decided to be a good person, that I have decided to act, to lead my life in a very positive way, and to do right by others and to make people laugh and have a good time. Like I treat myself good. I treat myself by going on trips, and I treat myself by taking care of my body and taking care of my mind and things like that. So I'm very thankful that I have self-awareness and I have the ability to recognize things that are good for me and things that are bad for me, and I can choose right from wrong. Some people don't have the capability. Some people are narcissists. Some people are self-destructive, and I'm very thankful that I have none of those qualities. Maybe some to a small extent. I think we all have some bad quality. We definitely all have some bad qualities, but for the most part, I'm very thankful to the fact that I have a good head on my shoulders, and I think it's important that we all acknowledge that. I am very, very content with my life. I'm very happy with who I am. I'm very happy with what I have in my life. And though things seem like, though we go through things and things don't always work out the way we want them to, or there's certain things that we think we need in our life, and then they don't happen, or things don't go the way we want them to, in the end, it's all good. Because all you really need is yourself. Because that's the only person that you're with all the time. So you just got to be able to put up with yourself and love yourself. Because that's truly who you are stuck with. And so for that reason, I'm thankful for myself. I'm back, baby. I'm fully back. It's all, I'm me. I'm me, you're you, and we're all here together. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you for sure for supporting this podcast, for supporting me, and be thankful for your family. Be thankful for whatever it is you're thankful for. Really acknowledge those things. Really put those to heart. And most importantly, don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it. Just gotta keep on